Welcome to the LIT86 Ranch.
We searched high and low for 9 months for the perfect property for LIT86.
And a special thanks goes out to Kevin and Corey at the G team to help make this possible.
They really know their stuff. They've been servicing Wilson County and the surrounding areas since 1982.
And I've known Kevin longer than that. I was in diapers first time I met that guy.
So clearly, his friend is very resilient, very patient, and very brave. To learn more, go to the QR code below or dial the number on your screen. On today's show, we are going to be talking about purpose beyond our pain. Maggie Kavanaugh is going to tell us all about her messy past and how God has used it to help heal others.
Walking out of the shadow, stepping into the light. I've been down some bad roads, now I'm living it right.
Welcome, Maggie Kavanaugh. I'm so honored to have you here today.
I'm so excited and honored to be a guest.
Yes. So, Maggie, you are a biblical coach, the founder of Moving Forward Ministries, and also the founder of Be Godfident Movement.
Yes.
Tell us about your childhood trauma and what path that took you down.
Well, I think anytime we've been through a difficult past, God is going to take it and use it for good somehow, and He certainly has with mine. My mother almost lost me in the womb. They had to have surgery. I almost died. I went through a very difficult childhood. I was molested as a child, raped at the age of 12, and started very early with substance abuse.
I remember in one of our interviews you mentioned you became a responsible user. So
That's what I thought. Yes. Well, just to fast forward a little bit, after all of that traumatic stuff happened as a child, I got pregnant out of wedlock at the age of 20, and I had my baby, and that was the only time that I stayed straight for a period of time. And I went through so much guilt because when I found out I was pregnant, I was already almost 2 months, and I was like, the weight of knowing that something I did was going to affect my child, it was devastating. So I quit using. And it was a good motivator to not use, but as soon as he was born, I went back, but I consider myself a responsible user. And when I say a responsible user, in my mind, because we create these things in our mind to justify our behavior, right?
Yes, that's right.
And so I thought, well, I'm only doing a line of Coke when I have to work a double shift. And I only smoke a joint before I go to bed just so I can sleep. And I would make excuses because it wasn't as rampant as it was before, but it was still that foothold. And as long as you got a foothold in your life, some strongholds are going to come along with it.
I love how you say, I'm only going to do a line of Coke on my stressful days. I'm only going to smoke some weed to go to sleep. That's right. And I remember in my own life, I'm only going to have a season of fun, just a season, and I've learned it only takes that small pinky hold. And then before you know it, the enemy has your hand and then your forearm, and then it's all over. And so you had a Jack in the Box experience in 1998 that changed the trajectory of your life. Can you tell us about that?
I grew up in a Catholic home, so I knew about God and I believed in God. I had a Bible sitting on my coffee table. It had dust on it, and I had no clue what it meant.
I'm a good Christian. I have a Bible in my house.
Yeah, if someone would have told me I wasn't a Christian, I would have been offended, because I would take my kids to church and I would do different things. But I was so broken. And I ended up at a women's conference with a group of women that were just radical. I called them radical Christians, those kind of people. The kind that they invite you to their church and you're like going, yeah, I'm busy that day, like my church was an hour and 15 minutes and their church was like 3 hours, I'm like, there's something wrong with those people.
Yeah.
And people that I knew there, I felt like, they just substituted their old life for their new addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus is not
Jesus
an addiction.
freak.
Jesus is the real deal. So with that being said, I was at the conference and they had an altar call for people to get rid of addictions. And so I stood up and I was all excited. Yes, I'm going to quit everything. This is it. And then I'm like, oh, heck to the no. There's no way. This is all I do. I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be. And so, there's the struggle. There's constantly a battlefield in the mind. And the mind will take you farther than you want to go. And so I sat back down I was like, no, I'm not giving that up. And then I stood back up again. And then I sat back down. And there was this major struggle, and these women are looking at me like, what is wrong with her? And sure enough, I finally just surrendered everything. At that point, I really feel like I became born again because I actually embraced what it meant to receive deliverance and forgiveness. I walked out of there a changed woman. I tried to smoke a cigarette on the way home. I threw up. I radically was delivered from that. And girl, I went home and I flushed my weed. I just flushed it. I just said, bye-bye, done. Because the freedom that came from that was finally, I had come to the end of myself. And where we end is where God begins.
Yeah, it was your God moment. And how long had you smoked? Just curious.
Oh my gosh. I started smoking weed when I was in the 4th grade. I was just a kid.
Wow.
So my dad was a cultivator.
Wow.
And he was a truck driver. He would drive loads from Florida to California of what people thought were oranges. But
oranges.
So that entrepreneurship thing was kind of always in me. So
yeah. Unpack for us all God has been able to do through you and despite your messy past.
Wow. I mean, we don't have time for everything, but I will just shortcut it. I started because I was so broken. And even though I had that experience with God, I still had a lot to unpack, and I'm still unpacking things and will until Jesus comes back. I mean, the reality is that he heals us in layers. But I started counseling, and I was so passionate about the healing I was receiving that I went back to school. I was an 8th grade dropout, right?
Wow.
Because I was like so bound up with my addictions, and I didn't really have any goals in life. And I literally thought, I'm just going to wait tables and sell drugs because that's what I did. And so I went back to school. I got my GED. I went on and got my bachelor's and then my master's, and started counseling. Then in addition to that, started a nonprofit, Moving Forward Ministries. And from that, we have done quite a bit of stuff. We've done podcasts, TV shows, Keys to Your Best Life. We started the Godfident, Be Godfident movement to help young ladies to live a life they don't have to recover from.
That's amazing.
Where's Les at? I'm ready to get started.
I'd say you were probably 25 or 30 minutes.
He says he's going to the bathroom, he just disappeared. I have no idea what we're doing. We need to get started. I did some research, and I found the mega pill.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even
I
better.
need to talk about what we can do with this, but this is a mega dose, baby. It's not cocaine. She did a lot of cocaine, but it's just a big old pill. I think we'll be fine, because I don't know how to boil cocaine.
Man, there's a lot of, Whoa, hey, when did we start with, what are you doing?
Been doing a lot of donuts. What are you doing?
Dude, what the crap?
What? It's supposed to be a clean show, my friend.
I brought donuts for everybody.
Come on now.
Offended me. We're talking about drugs, and look at you, your shirt.
I mean the donut.
That's just nasty.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
Let's go. All right, guys, what I missed? Catch me up on Maggie.
All right, well, since you embarrassed us
What's
all,
it do with
we're
purple?
covering it.
Man.
The purple light represents psychedelic drugs.
You should know about that.
No, I don't know anything about that. I don't know about that.
Purple, hey! So we're looking at episode, I think it was 56. Maggie's a really cool young lady. She has another episode, I can't remember the name, can't recall the episode, on Everyone Has a Voice, but it's like one she does a lot of homesteading stuff, which is pretty cool.
Well, that is cool.
So what that does, that leads me into one of the first things we can blow up for Maggie.
Okay.
I was thinking, since she discovered her moment, she's gonna give up drugs, she came home with marijuana and threw it in the toilet. Okay?
So we're gonna blow up the
So I'm thinking we blow up a toilet, and we probably put some poached salad in the toilet to represent marijuana, but yet it's also homesteading.
What's Christy gonna say about you missing a toilet right now?
I blow them up all the time. Okay. Get it?
Okay, toilets. That's one. We got.
We poached salad.
We need poached salad.
You ever see that on the side of the interstate? It's like people pull over and they eat that poached salad. You're from the South?
You should have done that, man.
You spelled that wrong. Whatever.
I don't know what it's spelled.
No, there's. I'm already thinking about the board.
All right, whatever. So poached salad, and it also can be with some colored water. So that's one thing. Now I don't know. Now I don't know how we're gonna do it. You can tell us how to do it later, but a toilet, and then also some kind of drugs. And we mentioned earlier, you missed the pill, not cocaine, but the big mega pill.
The mega pill.
Yeah, the mega dose.
Oh, I like that.
No, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. All right.
That's gonna represent her drugs. And it also,
Number two.
yeah, and she has, so that's the big pill, the mega dose. So I thought about alcohol set and make a bar, like a literal bar.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Where are you going with this?
And then I'm gonna put behind the bar some mylar that looks like mirrors. And then we put different bottles up with different colors for alcohol, and we just shoot the bottles. Like the old school, you go to shooting galleries.
Yeah.
We do that when we set up in the field, but we're real wet.
You talking about multiple shooters on this?
Either that or, yeah, whatever.
But this is,
So we're gonna say,
then we need to make sure we hit them.
so we're gonna build it hard.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'll have to use shotguns. Close range.
No, but I like this. You get some nice different, like, covered glass bottles, liquid.
You just set it all up.
Put different types of liquid. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Shotguns and then just like whatever. Pistols.
No.
No
pistol? I'll see both of you shoot. Come on, man.
So tell us a little bit about your podcast, because I remember it's won some awards.
It has. It did quite well. And I absolutely turned the podcast into a TV show because so many people, I know the coolest people on the planet. And I love to talk to them like you. You've been on there as well.
Thank you. Yeah,
and so,
I was on it.
so I absolutely love sharing the love of God, but also through the power of the testimony. You know, it says in the book of Revelation that we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so many times it gets shut down because of the shame. You know, the shame-based nature comes in and says, if they really knew you did that. And so I think that whenever we become vulnerable and transparent, it gives others permission to do that. And they're willing to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm not okay, but I'm not gonna stay here.
Yeah. I think it's so empowering because you were a high school dropout, you did drugs, you sold drugs, you were molested, came from a broken family. You clearly were broken yourself, had a baby out of wedlock. This is hitting a lot of points here, and I know there are people out there watching that you may only have one of those. You may only have had the baby out of wedlock, or you may have only had the drug abuse or been molested. And so your story is so powerful because sometimes it has to be so bad that it gets people's attention, and they're like, wow, if God can do work in Maggie and still use her for the good, maybe, just maybe, he can use me. Absolutely. Even though I feel so broken. So I just love that you're sharing this. What would you say to the mom out there that's a responsible user?
Oh my goodness, quit hiding your pain. Just go ahead and be real with yourself because you are fooling yourself. There is no such thing as a responsible drug user. And I use that term loosely because in my mind, that's what I thought I was, because I went to work, I was the mom in the PTA, groups, I was in the dugout at the ball field, I was doing all of these things. And on the outside, I was smiling and bleeding on the inside. And so, because that's what the world expects us to do, suck up and deal with it, be a big girl, put your big girl pants on. And so I think a real awakening for me prior to my salvation, what I consider my true salvation moment, is whenever I was sick with cancer and I was seeking God, but I wasn't willing to surrender. There's a difference whenever you totally surrender. So just go ahead and surrender. Let it go. Let it go and wait and see what happens, because God will take your pain and take it in for purpose, and you will be able to help other people. That's right. That's what I would say to that mom.
That's right. And I would say every person is created with a specific purpose on your life that only you can fulfill.
That's true.
And if you never surrender, you will never be able to fulfill that purpose beyond your pain. We all have pain.
Yes.
You cannot walk through this life without pain, disappointment, betrayal, failure. It's just a part of it.
So true.
Yes. Maggie, if you had listened to people instead of listening to God, where would you be today?
Oh, that's a very good question, and I'm glad that you asked that, because I think that we become who we allow in our circle. You know, there's some studies that say whoever the 5 people are the closest to you, that's where you're going to be 5 years from now. And the group of people that I associated with, they had no ambitions, they had no goals, they had no, you know, I thought that was a norm. I just thought getting high was a norm. I thought everybody did it. And then whenever I broke out of that cycle and realized and started to listen to the voice of truth that I found only in the Word of God, I realized how deceived I was. So Lord knows, I kid people all the time because after I was an addict, I married an alcoholic that became later severe drug addict, and I became the worst codependent. Man, you think I was a bad druggie. Oh my gosh. I was the craziest codependent on the planet. And so I remember whenever it just all came to a crashing end and realizing how broken I was, and I thought, I've got to find the right voices. And once I found the right voices, things started to shift. When I became accountable, whenever I started seeing myself the way that God's seen me, instead of seeing myself through the lens of brokenness. So I would probably be, I kid around saying I wanted to take my ex-husband out, literally. And so I probably would have had a jail ministry on the other side. That's where I probably would be if I would have continued behind the bars. You know, I minister on the other side now, but seriously. And I think you're right, when it comes to people having a call, the enemy knows at a young age. He tells everybody the same lies. You're not pretty enough, no one likes you, no one's ever gonna care about you, blah, 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 it's all the same. Yep. And the reality is if we stop and listen to the voice of truth and overcome the lies with the truth, we're gonna find out who we are and we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
I love that. Listen to what God says about who you are.
Yes.
That's so good. Not what people say, not what the enemy says. And I firmly believe our thoughts can come from 3 places.
Yep.
They can come from ourselves, they can come from God, or they can come from the enemy.
Yes.
And so just knowing how to recognize those different voices and praying for discernment.
Oh, it's so important.
So important. For those watching that don't know what a codependent is, can you define that for us?
Yeah, an out-of-control person trying to control an out-of-control person. I mean, it is a control level. It is where you start to take on the weight of someone else's sin, behavior, attitudes, and so forth, and you think you can fix them. I'm telling you, I was so crazy. You know, crazy with a capital C.
You're still crazy, but
in a good way. Yeah.
Well, Maggie, I just love you. And if you're watching and you want to know more about Maggie's story, you can go to Everyone Has a Voice podcast. It's available wherever you get your podcast. She is on episodes number 56, 57, and 76.
Wow.
76. Because I remember we talked about Godfident.
Yes.
On episode 76, and it was awesome. Maggie, where can people find you, follow you, and get your podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. At movingforwardministriestn.org or .com. Also at godfident.org.
Perfect. Well, are you ready to head out to the ranch to see what the guys have for you for your LIT86 moment?
Oh, I've been looking forward to this. Yes.
I'm so excited. And I do want to say, I am not responsible for anything that they might ask you at the ranch.
I'm an open book.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Hey, love, I have Maggie, and we are on the way.
Come on down.
10-4. I'm excited for you to meet the guys.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, there is no telling, literally, what they have set up for you because your story is so colorful. And I'm just excited for you to meet them.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
The anticipation.
The anticipation. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
This is
What's up, Maggie?
Hi, Maggie.
Kavanaugh. Meet the team.
Nice to meet you guys.
I'm Les.
Nice to meet you, Les.
Tommy, good to meet you.
Yes.
I'm
good to
Kevin.
see
You
you,
know.
Kevin.
You know, Kevin.
I know, Kevin.
all his shenanigans. We got some awesome stuff for you today.
Awesome. Awesome. Glad to be here.
We sure do. We got 3 stations set up for you. Each
Okay.
one of them represents something that happened in your life.
Okay.
We're going to lit 86 those moments.
Woo.
Yes, we're going to take it. One of the stations we have for you is based upon your drug addiction.
Look at that.
And I think you mentioned in there you did a lot of pill popping.
Yep.
Pill
Lots.
popping. So we're going to try to set this up in a fun way and let you take care of that situation. 86 those mugs. Okay.
I love it.
Then for our second station,
Very colorful.
this is kind of cool. You like pot, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Wait,
today,
that's not real.
hey, we can't. This is television. We can't do critiquing our props.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's not real,
We'll have to edit
but the
that.
sample. This is a real pot. if
Yes,
that
it is a
counts.
real
There
pot.
you go.
So we're going to smoke some pot today.
Yeah.
We're going to just
Literally.
eliminate some of the pot plants, fake pot plants. And then for our third station,
We got a big surprise for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
so Maggie, we heard you're pretty feisty when you were younger, in younger days. Or are you still feisty? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm
lot of
feisty in a different way. So I was feisty with a lot of pent-up anger. I was a very angry young lady back then.
Yeah.
Got
So
in a lot of fights in high school, huh?
Too many to count.
you were kicked out of school?
I was.
Wow.
Wow, that's scary. Well, I'm just glad. Have you ever shot guns before?
Just little ones.
Okay.
Just a little, okay, well, we're gonna step it up a little bit today.
I'm getting them a promotion.
Get
Yes, you are.
promoted.
Yeah.
Yay, exciting.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for you. I'm going to leave you in the good hands of these guys. So good luck.
I feel very safe.
Yeah.
No, we're safe.
Ish.
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 Yeah.
Safe-ish. All right, let's keep going.
Oh, yeah.
So what about this?
Look at this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Good fun stuff. So,
It's definitely a shotgun item.
Big
oh,
shotgun item.
hashtag.
Hashtag shotgun item.
Perfect. Perfect. That's perfect. Unscripted. So how about that? So we have 4 different 2 12 gauges, or was it 3? 2 or 3? Well, we're not going to do 12 gauge
Well-
today. Kind of get you started out with 20 gauge.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the one we used a moment ago on the safety review and kind of get you started is this one. This is a 20 gauge pump. Everything's unloaded right now. So you can only fire 1 shot at a time when you run the trigger. Okay, so we'll work. Can't do that today. No,
Automatic weapon.
won't be able to do that today. But okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
eventually.
yeah. I like the way you're thinking, feisty. So yeah,
Eventually.
scrappy. So we're gonna run with the 20 gauge and be thinking about, as you see the targets down there, which one you want to go for. Don't be surprised. You might actually knock down 2 or 3 with 1 shot.
Be happy with one.
That'll be great. You're gonna be good to go.
And also just try to remember, this is your lit 86 moment, and you're eradicating that sin.
Oh, I
Those
love it.
pill popping days are gone. So I know it looks inviting, all that colorful stuff down there, but you know, we're gonna do something
Ready
else
to
different.
tear it up.
That's right. We're gonna take them out a different way.
Yeah, I love it.
86 it's your moment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Clear. This is our third stage.
We've
It's the
amped it up a
final.
little bit each time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the grand finale. Like Les said, we've amped it up a little bit each time, and this should be really spectacular. We hope it is. And our goal is here not to actually disintegrate the item, but just give you the effect of a total explosion.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So guys, listen, I got back from this conference. I was so overwhelmed with a sense of freedom that I went in, I got all of my stash, I got all my weed, and I flushed it down the toilet. And then I took all my paraphernalia and put it in the garbage, tied it up, and took the garbage out. So I didn't blow anything up though. So
Well,
this
you
is
just-
very
you just flushed it.
therapeutic.
This is
I
really
just flushed
therapeutic,
it.
yeah. So this time
So
we're doing a little bit better. This will be
yeah,
a
this
tight
is-
bitter than a flush.
Yeah.
You went with water, now we're going with
We're
fire.
gonna blow it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna blow that toilet up. And when I heard Les had already blown a toilet up this morning.
Come on, man.
Was a devil's daughter. Saw the flames go higher. Wasn't able to run. I looked death in the eye. He set my soul on fire. Now I'm able to fly. Walking out of the shadow. Stepping into the light. Oh my gosh! I've been down so bad. And now I'm living. Walking out of the shadow. You couldn't hold me down. Walking out of the shadow. Walking out of the shadow. There's only one way to come.
I cannot even describe what I experienced today. I mean, I've been free since 1998, late 1997, early 1998, when I really was walking a high level of freedom. And this was a very therapeutic thing. I mean, there was something almost like released by blowing up stuff and taking authority over the past. So I think it was amazing, much more than I expected it to be. Oh my goodness, I don't know. To narrow it down to one moment, I probably think maybe taking the karate position with the gun. That was really fun. I don't know. It just, all of them were so cool. Blowing up a toilet. I mean, yeah, I can't narrow it down to one. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the blood of Jesus and his freedom, because I had attempted many times before to get freedom, and behavior modification will only take you so far. If you really want freedom, seek him out. He is the chain breaker. He will set you free and maybe give you an opportunity to blow something up.
Maggie, thank you so much for being with us today. It was truly amazing. If you struggle with addiction of any kind, know that today could be your LIT86 moment. Join us next week for more amazing LIT86 moments.
What the?
Oh my. Oh,
This
my
all unclean. It's all unclean.
goodness. This is ridiculous. Where are all the clean, family-friendly, faith-based TV shows?
It's all lazy writing.
Yes, bleep this, bleep that. Someone should turn the tables.
Sometimes when you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Yes, let's get to work.
Heard. We did it!
We did it!
We have 2 shows out now.
Yes, Small Town Testimonies and LIT86. We hope you're enjoying them, and we want to bring you more. But we learned a very important lesson about media.
What's that?
It's expensive.
Yes, it is. Dollar bills, y'all.
We need your help. We are looking for hope warriors to take a stand for family-friendly, clean media. For only $10 a month, you can make a huge eternal impact for the kingdom. Go to the QR code below to become a hope warrior today.